What can I do when I retire to make money? Today you're going to get the answer to the question, what can I do when I retire to make money? So sit up straight, pay attention, and let's get going. Did you know that many retired folks are finding success in a business called Overages? A little hidden niche business that you've probably never heard of, but boy, are you going to be glad you heard about it now. And retired folks often have the most important skill that it takes to be successful in this business, and they have it in spades. And this wonderful little niche business doesn't take a lot of money to start and doesn't take a lot of equipment to do. You need a phone, an internet connection, probably have both of those things, a laptop. If you don't have one for $500 from Costco will do just fine. And you need some education to know how to do it, and I can give you that. So very easy to get started, inexpensive, and something that's approachable for most people. So let's get into the details of it, because I want you to learn about this business so you can decide if this is right for you. Many people, when they retire, want to make extra money, and the business I'm talking about is called Overages, which is often perfect for retired people. Overages involves helping people who've lost a property to foreclosure get back a big refund of money to help them get restarted in life. And you might wonder, well, how's there money left over after a foreclosure? Well, here's the way it works. When a property is foreclosed, either because someone didn't pay their mortgage or they didn't pay their real estate taxes, when the property is foreclosed, any extra money that's over and above the amount that they owe on their mortgage or the amount on their real estate taxes, any extra money left over is claimable by the former homeowner. Now, claimable is our important word there. Claimable means they get it if they submit a claim for it, but they need to submit a written claim. Now, most people who've lost a house to foreclosure have no idea there even could be any extra money. They're like, well, they sold my house, they must keep the money. That's not true. I'm an attorney. I can tell you what is true. What is true is that when the house is foreclosed because they didn't pay the taxes or didn't pay the mortgage, the creditor, meaning the taxing authority, real estate tax collector, or the mortgage company, is entitled to be repaid its debt and whatever costs them to do the auction. But anything over and above that, well, that money is claimable by the former owner. And if the former owner doesn't claim it, the government just keeps it. So, important thing there. They have to claim it, which means they have to know that it exists. Most former owners have no idea that there even could be any money, so they don't think to go ask, or there must be some form they would fill in. They're staying far away from someone that foreclosed on their house because they figured that could only be bad news, nothing good there. So they're not coming anywhere near the tax collector's office or the mortgage company. They're afraid they'd be asked for extra money. So they tend to just crawl off, go try to find a new place to live and rebuild their lives. But this money just sits there. And it sits there until it generally forfeits after 3 years. Depends. State by state, the time limits are a little different. Generally, it's 3 years. It can be a little longer or a little shorter, but generally every 3 years, that money is either claimed or it forfeits to the government. So the government's not going to do anything to help people. They'll give you the money if you apply for it, for sure. They don't give you a hard time. I've been doing this business for 10 years. They give the money. But when you don't apply for the money, you just don't get it, and the government just keeps it. And literally, there are hundreds of millions of dollars sitting out there right this minute waiting to be claimed. Just take a look at this list, for example. This is an actual list of monies that are held after a tax foreclosure sale. This is from one county out of the 3,000 or so counties in the United States. Look at all that money that's sitting there. Tens of thousands, some cases hundreds of thousands of dollars, which isn't a surprise because the taxes aren't that much compared to the value of the house. So if you just fall 3 or 4 years behind in taxes, it's not like that's going to take $200,000 to clear up. It doesn't. But the house will sell for that. And houses today on average are worth $400,000. So they sell for a lot of money at tax sale. So there's this money, just like you're seeing on your screen, there's that money sitting there available. So in the business, what we do is we get these lists. These are public record lists. I can show you how to get them quickly and easily over the internet for free. You get the list, and as you can see on the list, the person's name is there, the address of the property, and the amount of money being held is all there. So you then get their contact information. That involves some internet research. That is called skip tracing. I can show you how to do that. Usually takes me an hour or two to train someone how to do that properly. So give me an hour or two and I'll train you on that. So they do the skip tracing. That's going to get you generally their phone number, their mailing address, their email address, their Facebook account address, so you can send them messages. And you can send them a letter, you can send them a postcard, you can pick up the phone. I cover that when I teach marketing, but essentially you get in touch with them, and at some point you're going to be having a phone conversation with them. Even if you sent them a letter, they're going to call you. And you say, yeah, you're owed a refund. And when you're talking to them, you're going to say, yeah, we contacted you because our research department has found that there's a large amount of money, in your case, $150,000, that's available for you to claim. And did you know about that money? Now, of course, they don't know about the money. How do we know that? They didn't know about it because otherwise they would have claimed it and it wouldn't be on the list, because as soon as someone claims the money, it's no longer on the list. So you say, well, I understand most people don't know about these monies, so we're happy to go and perform the claiming process, get the money for you. We do expect to be successful, so we do everything on a contingent fee basis. What that means, we only make money if we're successful in actually getting money. You don't have to give us a deposit, you don't have to give us a penny, just give us a chance. And let me show you and let me get you this money, because I'm sure you could use it just like all of us. And they're going to be thinking, boy, you don't know how much I could use it, because you're not going to say, oh, I know you lost your house. You're not going to say anything rude like that. And you say, well, yeah, we'll go right to work on this. So they get signed up, and you could do that. We teach you how to do that either completely online, you could do it that way, or we have people that will go out, meet with the folks, bring the papers with them, bring the papers and an extra pen, and have them sign it. It gets delivered back to you. Of course, they give them a copy, return the papers to you, and then you turn in the claim. You turn in the claim, typically a couple months later, you're going to get a check from the government, deposit in your business account, send them their portion, keep your portion. In our case, we charge between 30 and 40%, depending on how much money is involved. Larger claim will be a little lower in percentage. Bigger claim will have a lower percentage. Smaller claim will typically have a larger percentage. Ranges from 30 to 40%. So it's free country, you can charge what you want, but if you look at this list again, imagine whatever percentage you're imagining, whether it's a 30 to 40% we charge or whatever you're imagining, imagine making that percentage of these kinds of claims. That's why it's a great business, and you can make lots of money even in retirement. And retired people can do this just fine. It's not physical labor. You're just picking up the phone, you're doing some internet research, you're talking to people. Do it at your own pace. This does not have to take over your life. You could do 6 or 7 deals a year and have a great retirement where you have plenty of money and just enjoying yourself. But you'll probably find you want to do more than that, because it's a fun business where you're helping people. Which brings me to the other thing I love about this business. You're helping people who really need the help. These are people down and out, they've been kicked by life, they lost their house, and then you're going to show up and get them a payout of hopefully tens of thousands or maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is life-changing and game-changing for them. So you make money, they get something rewarding. What could be better than that? It's really absolutely fantastic. And this business is approachable for most retired people. I said earlier that there's kind of a super skill that you probably have that helps make retired people successful. And that super skill is the ability to connect with people. Because when you call people, of course they're skeptical. Of course they are. So you've got to talk them through that. And the skills you have as a human that's been around for a while is the skill to build some rapport, to have some empathy, to express that, to connect with different kinds of people. That's the key to success in this business. It's that connection. I can teach you how to do all the research, how to make the claims and all that stuff. That is not that difficult. I'm an attorney. I can walk you through that very easily. What's up to you, though, and what your inborn skill needs to be if you want to really do this business, is you just need to be able to connect with people. So if you have that skill, then this is a good business choice for you. If you don't, that's okay. Then this probably isn't the business for you. If you have no ability to connect with people, don't want to connect with people, then maybe not for you. But if you do have the desire to connect and you say, yeah, I could do that, I can call people, perfect for you. Not a lot of physical labor, so don't worry if you're kind of homebound or anything, that's fine. Everything is done by mail. We have people that go out and meet the folks, get the paper signed, send them back to you. So all of that is available. So I think it's a great business for a retired person. And also the other thing is you're often dealing with people that are more contemporaries. They're 60, 70, 80, 90 years old. Because by the time someone lives enough life to get a house, make payments, and then get enough trouble to not be able to pay their taxes or their mortgage, they're older, especially the tax foreclosure people. They're generally older, so you're dealing more with contemporaries. These are folks that you can relate to, that you have things in common with, and it's easier to connect with them. So I think you'll find you'll enjoy that part, and I'm sure you'll enjoy the fact that you're making great money, which everybody enjoys, having a great retirement, but you're also doing something meaningful. You're helping people who've just lost everything, their house, a lot of their dignity, they're sad, and you're showing up for them and getting them tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's a great business. It doesn't take a lot of money to start this business. I can teach you what you need to know. I do education where I teach all the steps of the business and teach you everything you need to know. As an attorney, I know the steps very well. I've been doing this business for more than 10 years. So I can walk you through all that, and then we'll get you started. So your next step, if you're interested in this, which I'm sure you are because others wouldn't be here till the end of this video, your next step is to go watch my Intro to the Overages business video. If your browser supports it, you'll see a link up there above my shoulder. If your browser doesn't support that, just look below the video and you'll see a link to the Intro to the Overages business. There I walk you through the business, walk you through what you need, and help you towards learning the next steps and how to actually take on this business, have a great retirement, help people, do something you're proud of, and make the money that you need, because life is expensive now. We all know that. Inflation has really taken a bite, especially for people on a fixed income. So this can be great for you to do in retirement and to keep you involved in life. So it's Attorney Bob Diamond. Click on the link up there or down below, and I'll see you at my Intro to the Overages business video.